Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Snow Show, episode 4. Special guest today from Fort Myers, Florida, Brady Madsen, and he says it's beautiful outside. Brady, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. You and I chatted a few months ago, and I told you about this, and you said, "Yeah, call me anytime." So thank you for coming on.
Of course. Love to be on with you, and thanks for inviting me.
Tell me about Florida right now. 75, did you say, or 73? What was it?
Yeah, so today is roughly about 75. It's a little cooler than the last few days, but obviously it's about ideal as you can get, 75. It's a little breezy, sunny, but it's starting to become that summer weather again. Last few days have been upper 80s, close to 90 with humidity and sun, and so it's getting to be warm, but it's good to get used to it again.
Hey, and I see you representing the hat that's take you back home, little Jenny O.
Yeah, little Jenny L, take
You
me
work
back
there
home.
in the summer?
No. I love kind of old style trucker hats, so I try to wear them as much as I can.
I like it. So a little background, Brady Madsen is a freshman, sophomore, senior. You're going to tell us, all right, how this all works, but
Honestly, I'm not really sure. I guess you could kind of declare me as a junior. This is
junior.
my fourth year of college, but I guess with all the transfer credits and the eligibility for golf, I guess we'd say I'm a junior. So yeah.
That you would say that you have 2 years, but then you get a COVID year as well?
No. So I would be normally a senior.
Okay.
So
So
this is
you're
my fourth year.
junior eligibility, but you have a lot of credits that would get you close to a senior.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
So I'm confused with my daughter, who's a freshman. She goes, I think I'm going to be a freshman next year. I said, no, you're not a freshman. You're going to be a sophomore.
Yeah. Yeah.
With freshman eligibility. And she's like, no, I don't think so, Dad.
Yeah.
So I'm confused by it. So it's good to know that you guys are kind of confused about it too.
Yeah. I mean, we're still kind of waiting on a teammate of mine to see if he's getting eligibility back, Van Holmgren. But so I guess we're all a little bit confused on everything in the situation.
So Brady plays golf for Florida Gulf Coast University, which is in Fort Myers. Started his career way back, and I think those who listened to our shows earlier, way back at Maccray High School, which we have a meet next week and change from now, Brady, against Maccray. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Every time I think about you guys and your teams and the good old days, but we'll see what happens this year. So, anyways, catch us up to speed on your life, Brady. Now, I got to play golf with you a month and a half ago, first part of February, and you kind of caught me up. But catch us up with how's it been going? How's the transition down there? You came from Winona State. You were there for a couple years, and tell us a little bit about how all that's going now that you've acclimated to Florida. You're kind of a Floridian now, I guess we would call you.
Yeah. So I guess with spending 3 years at Winona, it was, I guess college life wasn't too much different because obviously I've been pretty used to the college atmosphere and everything. But just in terms of Florida living, it's been quite a bit different with just climate and being able to golf from November to now. It's been pretty nice. And I guess I would say I like the adjustment that I made, and I love all my teammates and coaching staff and everyone around here. So I guess I love the change that I made. I'm not I guess unsatisfied with it in any way. Um, but we've played currently. I think this is 6 tournaments. We've got one. We got a 2 week break here, and we host our home tournament here the April 12th and 13th. So it'll be good to see. I know I got some family members coming down, so I haven't seen them since Thanksgiving really. So my parents are flying down next week, but we got our home tournament coming up here in a week and a half, and then that weekend we drive up to Athens, Georgia, play the University of Georgia's golf course for our conference championship.
Now, I saw that you just played an event. I think you shot 72, 71, 71. Does that sound right?
70, 71, 71.
I was way off. So
Way off.
you finished 5th, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
What was the competition like, and what kind of yardage do you guys play and things like that, Brady, in tournaments of such?
Yeah, so I think in our 6 tournaments that we've played, I think we probably average right around 71 to 7,300, depends on the course. I would say the first 3-4 tournaments that we played were in South Carolina, and then a couple in northern Florida, and then one in Georgia. But pretty much the climate for all 4 of those tournaments have been mid 40s to low 50s. So it's been kind of right up home for me, which obviously I've been pretty used to that at Winona, as well as being spring golf at Maccray. So I've been feeling pretty comfortable with the climate and being able to play in the wind and the cold. So it's been fun. But obviously now, as we're getting closer to April to mid-April, May, things are starting to warm up pretty good all around the south. So it's been fun.
So Brady, you were telling me when we played that it's pretty competitive on your team. I mean, it just isn't the case at all colleges, but at yours, you guys have 7, 8 guys that can all shoot the numbers we just talked about. So talk us through, how does that go? Do you guys have weekly tryouts? Do you have weekly spots? And just give us average golfers kind of an insight into what you have to deal with each week just to make the team.
Yeah, so we've got, I think, 12 guys on our team right now with a coach and assistant coach. Um, so I guess to qualify for our first tournament up in Kiawah Island, we all did qualifying. I think we did like 72 holes of qualifying, or right around that number. And the top 6 players got in. So yeah, the top 6 got in, and then from there on, pretty much every tournament after that, you get maybe 1 to 2 exempt guys, and then you got to fill out the rest of the team with qualifying as you get back home. And obviously, with having 6, 7 guys that can shoot right around par or under par at any given day, you kind of have to show up to play every day at practice. And if you play well enough in tournaments, you'll get automatically exempt into the following tournament. So if you take, I think, top 5 or top 10, you're automatically in. Which, thankfully, I've done that a couple times already this spring. But kind of, I guess, the last 3, 4 events, it's kind of been us 3 Minnesota kids, me, Van, and Frankie Sappin, who have kind of been consistently up on our team. So I guess we haven't really had to qualify, which has been great. So we've been going every week. We've got a transfer student from England, John Hopkins. He's been playing really well too. He took second in our last event. But he's been playing really well. I think in the last 3 tournaments, he shot 2 rounds over par. So it's good to have guys like that on our team that can consistently shoot under par to, I guess, get a feel of what you have to do day in and day out to keep playing, I guess, year on coming up. So, but yeah, no, just we compete every day, whether that be practice or qualifying rounds. We're all playing. It's practice. We're you're usually hitting balls, chipping and putting for an hour, and then we'll go and play 9 or 18, make fun games out of it. But yeah, it's kind of what we do day in and day out.
So how is the atmosphere when you guys are, I hate to say cutthroat, but it's like, your buddy next to you is going after the same spot as you. How are those? What's that atmosphere like when you step onto the tee, knowing your buddy who maybe is? Are they roommates, Brady? Are you guys all in the same kind of comp?
Yeah, I mean, I've got four other roommates that are on the team as well. So there's 5 of us in this house, but 3 other guys live in the freshman living, and so it's unique because obviously we're all trying to play our best golf to go to the event. None of us wants to be left behind, but at the same time, you kind of just can't worry about others' feelings, and you just kind of have to go do your thing. And at the end of the day, if you don't make it, you're a little disappointed in yourself, but you're also happy that the other guys are getting an opportunity and kind of prove themselves too. So,
And,
um,
and it is a score that you're playing for. It's not like it's match play, right?
right, yeah, no, we're playing individual score.
Right.
So so we're playing. We got 3 groups going on, usually 3 foursomes, and usually we'll separate the guys at the top of the board, and then kind of work your way down through the pairings. But um, you pretty much know where you stand all the time. You're always counting strokes in your head. But it's good though. It's, I guess, what you're looking for when you come to some of these bigger summer tournaments, and you kind of know in the back of your head where you're standing. So it's a good practice for, I guess, both future and now currently too.
Brady, have you ever had a tough ruling in one of those little competitions where you guys have had to say, "Oh no"?
Yeah,
Have you
we a little bit, just because I mean, down here in Florida at our courses, there's a lot of water,
Yeah.
and it's usually we're not really like we don't really have any cheaters, but occasionally, someone will hit a ball in the water and they might stretch their distance a little bit up to
Yeah.
where they can drop. So sometimes we were like a little questionable, but then
But you room with them, maybe.
yeah, yeah. All
Right?
right.
You gotta live together.
Well, no, I
Even if
mean,
it's all a penalty.
at
Go
the
ahead.
end of the day, it's up to the group, so you can't be mad. So it's we're all guys. We don't get too butthurt about things. We get over it pretty quick if we know it's the right call.
So you guys got a lot of palmettos and that kind of stuff too. So does lost ball ever come into play where you're like, hey, we get that 3 minutes, my man. Start hiking.
Usually, but the way our courses are kind of set up for qualifying, we kind of just do usually one side of the hole is water and the other side's palmettos. So we'll kind of just play it as a hazard to speed up things. And
Oh, sure. It's
um,
fair for everybody then if you're always playing it that way.
yeah, yeah. So we would prefer not to do that, but I guess it helps out everyone in terms of time and everything. So
So Brady, what are some of the big differences between a Division II college in Minnesota and a D1 school in Florida? Besides just the competition, I mean, obviously that's that, but was it this cutthroat in practice even that over spot number 4 and 5? Because 5 travel, correct?
yeah, yep. 5 travel if you count 4 best scores every day. I would say just the overall competition at Winona wasn't obviously as good in terms of the 3, 4, 5 spots. Um,
Depth.
yeah,
The depth, yeah.
depth is a big thing that's completely different. Because I look back at a lot of Division II schools and they got usually 3 guys that can play, maybe 4, and then the 4, 5, 6, 7 guy, or it could be a hit or miss weekly, and you could play one guy and he did well in qualifying, but he can come out and shoot mid 80s every round in the tournament. Or the other guy could be playing as an individual and lost in qualifying and shoot 75 or whatever. Um, so I would say depth is a big thing. Obviously, just having the resources available has been another big aspect to the change. We had a really nice indoor facility in Winona, which was really awesome. But it's obviously nothing compared to what I have down here. And down here, we get crazy gear compared to what I used to get, which is awesome. Um, and yeah, just competition has been day and night different. So it's kind of one big thing I was looking for when I was trying to transfer somewhere was to play somewhere where I can play against some of the better collegiate players in the nation and test out my game. So
Yeah, I know the last time we chatted, that was a big deal to you, is kind of going to where do I stand in the world? Speaking of that, where do you know where your team ranks? I mean, Brady, these scores that you guys are shooting are crazy in my mind. You're 5th place with 4 under par. That doesn't, I mean, blows my mind, right? So,
yeah,
where do you guys rank nationally, and where are you sitting right now in regards to possibly making, who knows, a deep run?
yeah. Right now we're kind of right on the cut line of making a deep run. Nationally, like we haven't played very well yet together as a team. We've every week we've had 1 to 2 guys play really well inside, usually the top 15. But then we've had 3, 4 guys that just kind of showed up.
Yep.
Um, where we're slowly starting to come together and all play together as a team, which would be great. But I think right now we're 72 in the nation. I think at the start of this year, I mean, before all the recruits and everything, FGCU is actually at the very bottom of D1. I think
Sure.
they were like 256 out of 265 teams or whatever. So just this year, I guess we've jumped up almost 200 spots, which has been obviously really really good. But we're hoping to play and try to get inside the top 30, 35. So we got a few conference teams that are, I think one's ranked 15 in the country and then one's 25 or 6. And we know that if we play just good golf, we can hang with them.
And Brady, that's the Oklahomas, the Stanfords, all those,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
You guys are talking. So, and what to make the stuff on TV that we see, what do you got? You got to be top 16? Or
Um, it
or
all depends. So the stuff that they'll see on TV here coming up at the end of May is going to be just national. So we're right on the verge right now of getting an automatic bid into regionals. I think honestly, I'm not even even sure how many regional spots there are in terms of locations.
Mm-hmm.
But nationals, I think there's like 30 teams that end up qualifying for nationals, and then usually the last 8 or 10 teams or whatever it is will be on TV. But so yeah, I mean we're close to being on that regional bid, and from there, I guess we either got to win conference here coming up in 2 weeks, or play well enough in our home event and in conference to get that regional bid in, and hopefully make a run here in the postseason.
That's awesome. I get goosebumps thinking about that stuff of how
Yeah,
close you guys are. All right, Brady, you and I had a chance to play, and and I asked you while we were golfing, what's the future hold for Brady Madsen? Where do you want to take this silly game of golf that we love so much? And we got a couple minutes left, so talk me through that. Where do you see Brady Madsen in 5 years? I mean, maybe you could say dream world, or you could say this is what I'm working to do. I want to
yeah,
get here. So I
yeah,
think our listeners would really enjoy kind of hearing those goals. And again, shoot, I want to be a TV broadcaster, Brady. I mean, I would love to call golf. I'd love to call you someday, stand up
yeah.
and going,
Be
Brady's,
the new Jim Nance.
yeah, he's taking out a 7-iron from 196. Most of us would be hitting 4-irons right here, but
Yeah,
Brady's hitting a 7-iron. That's what I want to do. So, anyways, tell us what's in the cards for you in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
yeah. So I guess obviously I've got one more year here at FGCU. I'll be living with a guy, Frankie Sappin, who's on my team. Frankie's a really good player, so it'll be fun, just him and I, to live together and pick each other's minds on, I guess, upcoming possible things that could happen. And Van Holmgren, who's a current roommate of mine, he's turning pro here at the end of the summer, and he's going to try to get into the Corn Ferry Tour, which is, I guess, the minors of the PGA Tour. And if he doesn't quite make it there, he's going to go to the Latin American PGA Tour and work his way up. But ultimately, I would like to turn. I mean, I will turn pro. It's just a matter of where my game will be at and what circuit I try to go to. Um, I guess I would say I've got a good foot forward, but still, I need to get probably a good shot or two better around on average, which isn't out of reach, but it still takes a good amount of work here coming up this year and a half, where before I can do anything in terms of the pro circuit. So um, I don't know, I guess, where I'll end up, if I'll end up staying down here in Florida somewhere, or move out to Dallas, or even Arizona or something, but I will probably be south somewhere, and I guess trying to make a run here somewhere within the next 4 or 5 years, 3 years, whatever it may be, to get pro somewhere. So
Well, I think you have the game for it, Brady, personally. First hole at New Westchester, I ripped a drive down there. I ripped it, and it went into the bunker, but I had 238. Brady just calmly hit one down there, and he had you had 9-iron. What was it, 160 something?
yeah, it was like 164 or 5 or
Yeah.
something.
So that 70 yards was consistent, everybody, the whole day. And the two guys we play with, Brady, let me know about it.
Yeah,
I mean, you see, I can't. You see how far I take the club back now. I
yeah.
can't even get it. You probably were like, this guy looks like he's 80. Trying to take that club back.
You're like John Rahm.
I I don't know how those guys hit it so far with those short swings. But anyways, that yardage, obviously, all day you were playing great. You were 3 under at one point, and then we got into your head a little bit, and we started working you down. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why, but you ended up shooting 73, which was still a great score on a course that wasn't in great condition, but that is what it is. But Brady, I personally feel like you have the game for it, and I'm not going to be your agent yet. But when we get to that point, I'd like to talk to you about possibly being your agent and working to get you some sponsors and getting some people to financially support you so that you can make a run at these things. I mean, there's the Canadian Tour, Latin
Yeah.
American Tour, Corn Ferry, like you mentioned, and then obviously the ultimate goal where the money is, the PGA Tour, not to mention the European Tour. I mean,
Yep.
there's some opportunities over there too, but I can vouch for you, Brady. You have the game for it. So thank you for taking time with us today. Thank you for doing this, and good luck to you in the rest of the season.
Appreciate it, Greg. Thanks for
All right.
having me.
Thanks, Brady. Keep us up to speed, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again.
We'll do. Thanks, Greg.
All right. See you, buddy. That's Brady Madsen of Florida Gulf Coast University, the Eagles golfer. So thanks again, Brady. Have a great day, everybody.